Hello. It's been a week. A week. That's because I was going through my last day of school for the year. Okay? Next year is my last year. Okay? Very nice. Anyway, so, you know what we're going to be talking about today? That's right. We're going to be talking about obsession, which, honestly, I think is actually pretty important. Okay, no one wants to talk about, I'm talking about the obsession as in, look, with obsession, you can obsess over, multiple things, such as, goals, subjects, people, even, We'll get onto that, okay? But no one talks about obsession in, a social way, how it impacts you socially. All the videos I've seen on it, it's just it's attachment style, blah blah blah. This is how I get out of it. But the ways of getting out of it, I think, isn't as helpful. Okay, I've employed strategies on myself, that I think actually work. You know why? Because they actually are kind of working right now. Okay, you listening? You're listening. You better be, stupid mom. I'm the type of person to have an obsessive mindset. Okay. Ever since I was young, I'd always obsess over different subjects. I was obsessed over first I was obsessed with animals, I guess. And I used to carry around a book when I was really young. Which it was a heavy book, so it was insane that I was carrying it around when I was I don't know, 7, 8, 9. I was just carrying it around. It was oh my god, there's so much little creatures in here. I love learning about them. Oh my god, bruh. No one cares. Shut up, Jimmy. Anyway, and then I got obsessed with geography, water features, and then history, So 3 different subjects in one. And history was I studied that a lot. Okay. I think for about 3 years, when I was I was 11 years old to 13, 14, there we go. 2019, I kind of just fell off with that. And then I started getting obsessed with music and now self-help, And I'm still obsessed with music. I got that love playing and I forever will be because that's, the reasons. Now, an obsessive mindset can get in the way when, you're trying to talk to people, You met someone that, oh, this person's great, what a wonderful person, what a wonderful human being. I'm glad you exist out of anyone who exists, because, you just met someone absolutely fabulous. You know what your mind likes to do? It likes to obsess over them. And that causes social anxiety, okay? No one talks about this. No one does on YouTube. So I've decided I have to talk about it. Got to help someone. So I had a conversation with someone on Discord about this, one of my friends. We had a conversation about this kind of style of interacting with someone, And the key thing here is the more you think about someone, the more anxious you get around them. Okay, it increases that kind of anxiety. What you want to do is you want to focus on your goals, your purpose, or the reason you're in the room in the first place instead of them, okay? When you're going to a party and your goal is, I want to talk to people, you're going to fall flat, okay? Happened to me before. But if your goal is, I just want to have fun, you're going to go in there having fun because, you're not going to be thinking about them, you're just going to be thinking on yourself, You're going to act like an absolute mong, Which honestly, that's how you kind of that's a good way of making friends, I guess. But yeah, that's how you kind of battle it daily, You need to focus on something else. And what is something else you can focus on? A goal, When I don't feel like being extroverted, I go into that room and just read in that room anyway, Despite of the person being there, The person that your brain likes to bring up multiple times a day because your brain is actually really dumb. So I can go on about how stupid the brain is, okay? You're stupid, we're all stupid, end of conversation. So what you want to do there is just place your mind in a different kind of, gotta kind of put it in a different box. Gotta be oh, I just want to complete this and that, There's a reason why workaholics, actually, are workaholics nervous around I don't know, it depends. Well, I'm not a workaholic, but I work constantly. Okay. Which there's a difference because I don't have that workaholic mindset, but yet I still work constantly. You know, it's because it's something I want to do. Anyway, there's a reason why some people don't get that anymore. It's because they're just more focused on their goals and more attuned to that instead. If you're focusing in the moment in a conversation of, how do I get, how do, actually, nah, terrible example. Anyway, imagine yourself in a conversation, right? Okay. What you should, like, what does this type of person think? You know, the type of person who isn't obsessed over people. Instead, they're obsessed over the goals. They're thinking of the goal. Like, they're thinking, oh, how much money should I invest in index funds, instead of, oh my god, what do I say in front of this woman? You know. So yeah, you kind of just want to calm it down a little bit. You kind of just want to focus on, yeah, a goal. There we go. I just said that millions of times. Anyway, this is how the obsessive mindset happens. You're treating someone like, there's multiple ways this happens. First of all, you could be treating like some random person who doesn't matter in your life as like a celebrity because, oh my god, I have a crush on them. Oh my god, you're such a loser. Anyway, anyway, that's the most common reason. But the one that I mainly relate to is like when you kind of like start off really well with one person, right? You have a great conversation, great night, okay. You kind of don't want to like lose grip, okay? You don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about like the fact that, oh no, I might never see this person again if I don't act right now. Don't worry about that. You got multiple opportunities. Just go in and be like, hello, brah. But like, don't think about going in. Like you know what I mean. Don't think about entering the conversation. Think about something else and enter the conversation and make it automatic, which brings on to another point, okay, which I'll explain later. But like, that's something that I think I relate to and it happens a lot, which is annoying. With the celebrity thing, which I think is most people actually, because they always talk about this. I can't talk to the person I like. Moron, loser. Anyway, what do you want to do? You want to like put them off the pedestal, okay? But you put them on a high pedestal. You're like, oh my god, they're perfect. Yet they're not actually perfect. Like, that's what I found out. No one in this world is perfect. We all have like, even I'm not perfect either. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But like, especially like the average person, like especially like a student. A lot of young people aren't as good as you think they are. Okay. I've discovered that this year, mainly this year, because there's been multiple examples of like, oh, this person seems to be a great person, and then they do something so disingenuous that they have been doing for a while, and you're like, oh, well, never mind, they suck. Believe me, this has happened with so many people. It's actually ridiculous. Okay, it's easy for someone to do something that makes people lose respect in them. Okay, we could all do that. I could just go outside and I don't know. I'm not going to say it. No, I have the bravery to say it. Okay, kill yourself, PC left wing. You're not going to censor me. If I want to lose all the respect I have, if I want to lose the respect people have on me, I could beat up everyone in my vicinity. There you go. Or you could have sex with a dog. Think about that one for a minute. That wasn't a minute. Anyway, basically, you gotta knock them off the pedestal. Okay, you gotta be like, well, this person isn't that good. You gotta recognize that they're not good. They're not anything special. They're like everyone else, and just move on. You gotta tell yourself that repeatedly. Okay, tell yourself that over and over again, and you'll start losing interest in them. Because it's kind of like a neuro association in your brain. You kind of just told your brain over time that they're perfect for me, and then you gotta, then you gotta change it to like, oh, they suck. They're terrible. They're kind of underwhelming, to be honest. Before she was a hard worker, but now she's this person suffers from depression and anxiety. You know, that's gonna really weigh down on me. You could use that as a reason. Who knows? But that's what you want to do. You want to knock them off the pedestal. So that's like two ways of actually like combating over obsession. Okay. Now, I was gonna say something about it that was important, but I forgot. You know. Well, guess what? I'm gonna say this instead. Okay, so like, what are you doing when you're obsessing about someone or thinking about them a lot because you kind of just don't want to let go? You're making them like, it's like you're kind of trying to make things perfect. You're making them like I don't know, the person that you must not fail near, okay? Because you want to like win them. You want to win them over. So what you do, you enter the room and you're like, oh my god, what do I do? So you go up to them and then you hide your hands or something, whatever. You can't do anything with your hands. No one's going to notice your hands, by the way. No one will. You can keep them up and like what I do, I just stand straight, shoulders back like a man would and ignore the hands, okay? And then just get into the moment and be like, what did you do this evening? Oh, I already know, cause I'm a perv. Well, no, don't be like that. But don't say that. Just enter in the moment, okay? Okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to find a goal you want to do. Like, if it's at school, you know, like I'm gonna read, I'm gonna get this done after recess, you know. But like, you want to be thinking about that when you're entering the room, right? And once you enter the room, start talking to like someone you're close to, like some random friend, and just think about having fun. You know, I'm gonna have fun right now, and that's gonna be done. Then I'm gonna complete this goal. Okay, so you're thinking about two important things that are completely unrelated to her. You know, and then what you'll do, you'll just turn into the extrovert and just automatically talk to anyone near you. This happened to me literally yesterday. Like, I walked into a room and I was like, you know, I just want to have fun. Let's just have fun. You know, talking to everyone. And then I was like, I'm going to talk to this person and act and just, you know, have a laugh because I feel like it. There you go. Reasoning. It's not that hard, you know. It's not that hard. And I think this is important for people like me because I kind of have to deal with that because my brain doesn't work properly in social, in like viewing people, you know. It's either too high or too low, you know, who knows. But yeah, note that down. Note all that down, okay? Note these down. Think about a goal instead of the person. Put them off the pedestal. You know, by like devaluing them in your head. It's all in the head, by the way. Take your meds. Anyway. And get into that extroverted mode where you're like, I just want to have fun, you know, and be yourself. Note that stuff down, okay? Anyway, that's pretty good, don't you think? You know, that was a pretty good one. I'll talk more about this later, and it'll be a goddamn daily topic, whatever. Because I think it's very important. That's the reason people like get away with like talking to high value people is because they're not obsessing it. They're not treating like they're like high value. They're acting like they're not high value. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, this person actually is kind of lackluster, like I am, and then you just, you know, you just move on with your day. Anyway, yeah, have